爹爹，杨亲。
Those innocent voices, Daddy and Mommy, were the final proof that my life was a lie. But before the betrayal was exposed, there was a promise that started it all.
I looked into Lu Mingyuan's eyes and saw a future worth fighting for. I didn't know then that his words were merely a script written to keep my family's power within his reach.
I said what I had to say to ensure she would leave. A general's daughter is a useful shield, but a wife who stays at home is a burden I didn't want to carry.
I carried that promise through every battle and cold night, never imagining the betrayal that was already taking root in my own home.
Returning as a hero, Feng Jinyue expected the warmth of a home she had protected with her life. But the gates of the Count's manor held a chilling truth.
I walked through these halls with a heart full of hope, ready to give my husband a lifetime of glory. I never expected to find my place already taken by a ghost from the past.
The heavy doors of the inner chamber creak open, shattering the illusion of a devoted marriage in an instant.
The sight of them together was like a physical blow. My husband, the man I fought for, was playing father to a child that wasn't mine. The betrayal was complete, and the pain was blinding.
I didn't expect her to return so suddenly. Seeing her standing there, still in her armor, made me realize that my comfortable life of lies was over.
爹爹，杨亲。
Those innocent voices were the final proof. Lu Mingyuan hadn't just failed me, he had replaced me entirely while I was bleeding for his family's honor.
The Lu family doesn't even bother to hide their hypocrisy, twisting their betrayal into a twisted form of virtue.
They speak of filial piety and heirs as if those words could wash away the filth of their actions. My mother-in-law's excuses are as hollow as her heart.
明媛也是为你着想啊，这不，现在知道也一样嘛。
In the main hall, the air is thick with the stench of Lu Mingyuan's entitlement as he proposes a shameful compromise.
She's a general, but she should still understand the needs of a noble house. Why can't she just accept Jinshi and move on? It's for the best of everyone.
He thinks he can keep me as a trophy while his mistress rules the house. He has no idea that the woman who survived the battlefield will not be defeated by his petty greed.
一夫二妻，我也是笑柄，我还有何颜面去面见大人？
A general doesn't waste time with words when action is required. Feng Jinyue begins the cleanup of her own home.
If they want to live like a family, they can do it somewhere else. Every piece of furniture, every silk robe that doesn't belong here is a stain on my dignity. I'm taking back what's mine.
这些都不是少夫人的东西。
Lu Mingyuan's anger means nothing to me now. I am clearing the path for a future where his name no longer weighs me down.
The mistress's greed is as transparent as the stolen silk she wears, and Feng Jinyue is done playing nice.
My dowry, my mother's legacy, worn by a woman who wouldn't survive a single night in the trenches. The audacity of this family is truly limitless.
It's just a piece of jewelry. Why is she making such a scene over something so small? She's becoming more vicious by the day.
这不是我嫁妆里的金钗吗？怎么会戴在她的头上？
The darkest secrets of the Lu family are finally brought to light in the haggard face of a loyal servant.
Seeing my nanny in this state broke the last string of my mercy. They didn't just betray me, they tortured the only family I had left in the city.
他们怕我给你通风报信，将我关了起来，想将我熬病熬死。
The fire of vengeance is finally lit, and Feng Jinyue prepares to burn the Count's manor to the ground.
A simple divorce is too kind for these people. I want them to lose their status, their wealth, and their pride. I will make them pay for every tear my nanny shed.
在我跟他和离之前，我定要让他们付出代价。
In the grand hall of the palace, the power dynamic shifts forever as Feng Jinyue claims her own destiny.
I don't need a husband's title to be someone. With this appointment, I am no longer just a wife to be discarded. I am a power to be feared.
行了，朕允了，回去等圣旨吧。
Lu Mingyuan, you wanted a successful wife to pave your way? You got one. Too bad she's now your superior.
Prince Xie Zhao's gaze is heavy with a secret he has carried for 6 long years, hidden behind a mask of royal duty.
The prince speaks of a lost love with such melancholy. I wonder who could have captured the heart of a man so powerful and yet so lonely.
我记得你好像就比我大2-3岁吧？这都25了，怎么还没有娶妃啊？
Lu Mingyuan is still playing the part of the devoted husband, his greed blinded by the hope of a royal reward.
A decree from the emperor. This is the moment I've been waiting for. With her merits, my promotion is guaranteed. She's finally being useful again.
He's so eager for the decree, thinking it's his ticket to the top. He has no idea that the ladder he's trying to climb is about to be kicked out from under him.
圣旨，那必然是大封赏。夫妇一体，我的荣光便是你的荣光，知道这个道理没？忙着吧。
Enjoy your last few days of peace, Lu Mingyuan. When that decree hits the floor, your world will shatter, and I'll be there to watch the pieces fall.
这期望越高，失望就越大。高高捧起，再狠狠摔下，如此才有意思。
Feng Jinyue is back for a reckoning. A quick kill is far too merciful.
I'll let them climb high before cutting the rope. Enjoy the height, Lu Mingyuan.
没有带在身上，也不急于一时。
到你父亲吃药的时间了，我得回去伺候了。你先回去啊。
When words fail, a general turns to reinforcements. Feng Jingyue knows she can't fight this battle with old servants alone, so she reaches out to the only man in the capital who truly understands the weight of a sword.
Prince Ning Xie Zhao. He's the only one in this den of vipers who knows that power isn't just inherited, it's taken. I need his men, and he knows exactly what I intend to do with them.
要人做什么？这样，明日叫几个机灵一点的，路面少一些的，去东平伯府，听候风将军吩咐。
The gates of the mistress's courtyard are kicked open. The submissive wife is dead. The commander has arrived to reclaim her spoils, and she isn't leaving a single silk thread behind.
I see my mother's legacy being used to decorate a mistress's life. 5 years of my family's blood and sweat squandered on their petty luxuries. Not another cent stays in their hands.
拿了我的，都给我吐出来！
While the manor is in chaos, Lu Mingyuan returns, expecting a submissive greeting, but finds his house being dismantled by the very woman he thought he had discarded. Lu Mingyuan stands in the courtyard, his face pale with fury as he watches his property being moved. He still believes that a wedding ring is a contract of ownership.
How dare she? A wife is supposed to be an asset, a piece of property that enriches her husband. She's acting like a common thief in her own home, forgetting whose name she carries.
你既嫁我，你的一切便都是我的，属于伯府财产。
Lu Mingyuan tries to use the law as a cage, banking on the fact that a woman has no voice in the capital's courts. He smiles, thinking he's already won.
She has no relatives, no allies, and no way to sue me without facing prison herself. I'll divorce her and leave her with nothing but the shame of her failure.
风金月，别不识抬举，我乃4匹侍郎，你妇人并无诉权。想要提告我，得由你族中男子代劳，且自身也得徒2年。别忘了，你在京城根本就没有族亲。再者，我要是休了你，你什么都带不走。
Just as the Lu family prepares to strike, the emperor's voice arrives in the form of an imperial decree. The power dynamic of the manor shifts forever in a single breath.
Watch closely, Lu Mingyuan. Look at the face of the man who thought he could replace me. This is the sound of your world shattering into 1,000 pieces. I am no longer just your wife.
奉天承运，皇帝诏曰：风金月在边关立下赫赫战功，实乃巾帼英雄，特封大庆第1女将军之衔，赏黄金1000两，珠宝锦缎18箱，令准予风金月之请求，授职殿前司副都指挥使，即日上任，钦此。
Lu Mingyuan tries to use divorce as a weapon, unaware that his wife's new title has made him the one who should be afraid.
I'll divorce her. I'll cast her out with nothing but the clothes on her back. She'll be a laughingstock, a woman with no family and no future.
He thinks he can still discard me like a broken toy. He's forgotten that I am no longer just a wife. I am an official of the court. Let him try to explain his greed to the emperor.
我如今可是有官职在身，你若想休了我，必须得上朝堂。
The Lu family watches in helpless horror as the rewards and the dowry are hauled away. Their dignity is being packed into crates and carried out the front door.
This is my house. These are my things. How can she just take them? My mother and I are being treated like strangers in our own halls.
把那些嫁妆搬回西云阁，还有这些赏赐，一件都不许落下。
While the Lu family scrambles to find a way to pay her back, Prince Xie Zhao is already sharpening the axe for the final blow. He won't let them off with just a financial loss.
I didn't ask for his help, but Xie Zhao's anger is a fire that burns hotter than my own. He's going after Lu Mingyuan's career, and he won't stop until there's nothing left.
想来是这些年过得太过顺遂了。对，收集陆明远错漏失职之处，交由御史台上奏弹劾。
In the quiet halls of the commandery, the prince's professional mask begins to slip, revealing a depth of concern that Feng Jingyue isn't ready to face.
His eyes search mine for a weakness I refuse to show. His protection feels more like a shackle than a shield. I didn't survive the border to be saved by another man's pity.
你在东平伯府被欺负了，为什么不同我讲？
Desperate, broke, and losing their grip on reality, the Lu family plots a disgusting new trap to chain their meal ticket to the manor forever.
A child. That's the answer. A child is a weakness that no woman can overcome. If I can just get her pregnant, she'll have to stay. She'll have to obey and give me everything she has.
待她怀孕生下孩子，便有了软肋，日后便生不出脾气了。
They think a child is a shackle that will break my spirit and bind me to this filth. But they've forgotten one thing: a general knows how to cut through any trap, no matter how cruel. Lu Mingyuan, you've just signed your own death warrant.
你别忘了我们母子3人就行。我不像姐姐有做将军的父亲，自身还有官职，我除了你，可什么都没有了。
Lu Mingyuan is a master of the double game. While he bids a tearful farewell to his mistress, acting as if moving into his wife's courtyard is a heroic sacrifice, He's actually just hunting for his next meal ticket.
I have to play the part of the devoted husband to get what I want. Jinyue is just a tool for my family's rise. But my heart? That will always belong to the woman who doesn't demand I act like a man.
我的地方岂是他想来就来、想住就住的？扔出去！
When Lu Mingyuan tries to assert his authority as the master of the house, Jinyue answers with the only language he truly fears, the sound of his precious treasures shattering.
He loves these trinkets more than he ever loved me. Since he wants to break my heart, I'll start by breaking everything he values. Let's see how much his pride is worth in shards.
我不仅扔，我还要砸！
She's a monster, a common soldier in a lady's dress. That teapot was worth a fortune, and she destroyed it without blinking. I need to find a way to tame this beast before she ruins me completely.
Desperation is a dangerous advisor. Back in the mistress's room, the rejected husband and his lover plot a trap that goes beyond mere insults. They want to break Jinyue's will entirely.
I can't fight her with strength, and I can't win with words. If she won't be a wife by choice, I'll make her one by force. I just need her to be weak enough to submit.
我听说有一种酒，喝下便能叫人神思不宁，浑身酥软。
While the vipers plot at home, Jinyue faces a different kind of predator at the palace commandery. The premier's daughter, Luo Yihuan, has decided that Jinyue is a rival for the prince's attention.
Another spoiled girl playing at power. She thinks a loud voice and a high title are enough to scare me. She has no idea that I've faced down armies while she was still playing with dolls.
我是风金月，见过罗六小。
The tension snaps when Prince Xie Zhao arrives. But instead of the expected greeting for his cousin, he delivers a cold rebuke that leaves no doubt about where his loyalties lie.
He's defending me in front of his own family. It's a dangerous move in this court, but the way he looks at me, it's as if he's been waiting years to stand by my side.
再这么胡闹，我让林默送你回府了。
Away from the schemes and the screaming, Jinyue and Xie Zhao find a moment of quiet nostalgia. The scent of pear blossom wine brings back memories of a time when life was simpler and their only enemies were on the battlefield.
He remembers. He actually remembers the wine I loved 5 years ago. In this city of lies, his memory is the only thing that feels like home.
真怀念我们一起练功杀敌的日子。
But the peace is short-lived. Lu Mingyuan, fueled by a toxic mix of jealousy and fear, bursts into the room, ready to play the part of the wronged husband.
I knew it. She's meeting a man behind my back. I'll use this scandal to crush her, to make her crawl back to the manor in shame. Who is this scoundrel trying to steal my property?
你敢勾引伯府少夫人！我。
The scoundrel turns around, and Lu Mingyuan's world collapses. He didn't just insult a rival, he insulted the most powerful man in the capital.
Prince Ning? My heart nearly stopped. I've just signed my own death warrant. I have to beg, I have to crawl, or I won't live to see tomorrow.
还请殿下恕罪，臣乃无心之失啊！
Watching her husband grovel is satisfying, but Jinyue isn't finished. She decides to peel back the last layer of his dignity right in front of the man he fears most.
He wants to talk about honor? About infidelity? Let's remind him of the child he hid and the mistress he kept while I was bleeding for this country.
你与表妹有情，也未曾告知我。若我早就知晓，也不会做那阻人姻缘的恶人。
Back at the manor, Lu Mingyuan's humiliation turns into a desperate attempt to reclaim control. He tries to use his physical rights as a husband to break her spirit.
I am the master. I will make her obey, even if I have to drag her to the bed. She's just a woman, and I am her law.
He's forgotten who I am. I've killed men twice his size with my bare hands. If he wants to play the husband, I'll show him exactly how a general handles a traitor.
我今天晚上就让你知道什么叫为妻之道。坐。
The final bridge has been burned. Jinyue meets Xie Zhao one last time, not as a subordinate, but as a woman who has finally decided to cut the chains of her past.
I'm done with the Liu family. The divorce is the only way to reclaim my life. I don't care about the scandal. I only care about the truth.
我没事，这陆明远他都不会武功，揍他活动筋骨都不够，哪能受伤啊？
Xie Zhao's support is unwavering, but a divorce in the capital is a war of its own. As Jinyue prepares to face the court, she doesn't know that Lu Mingyuan is already reaching for a much darker weapon. Will her freedom be worth the price the Lu family is about to demand?
归还嫁妆，他做梦！
The darker weapon Lu Mingyuan sought has arrived in the hands of his sister, Lu Qingyao. Returning to a household in chaos, she finds her parents trembling with rage and her brother nursing his wounds, all thanks to the woman they once thought they could control.
My family is being humiliated in our own home. Jinyue isn't just demanding her dowry. She's stripping away our dignity piece by piece. If I can't break her spirit with my status, I'll have to use something far more sinister.
今晚家宴，让风清月喝下片刻。
The invitation to the banquet is delivered like a peace offering, but the air in the Lu manor is thick with the scent of a trap. Jinyue's loyal maid, Ruan Xu, senses the danger immediately, pleading with her mistress to stay away.
They think they're the only ones who know how to set an ambush. If I hide now, they'll only find a more cowardly way to strike. I'll walk into their den and let them show me exactly how far they're willing to fall.
畏惧退缩，不如迎面而上。
The banquet begins with a forced joviality that borders on the grotesque. Lu Qingyao and her mother circle Jinyue like vultures, their eyes never leaving her wine glass as they press her to drink to her own glorious return.
Their smiles are as sharp as daggers. I can see the anticipation in Qingyao's eyes, the desperate hope that I'll take a sip and lose everything. Little do they know, Ruanxiu has already played her part in the shadows.
大嫂，这酒柔和得很，喝不醉的。再说了，这一夜啊，可长着呢。
The trap is sprung, but it's Lu Mingyuan who feels the teeth of the snare. As the drug takes hold of his system, his composure shatters, replaced by a feverish, desperate heat that he cannot control.
Something is wrong. My blood is like liquid fire, and the room is tilting. I was supposed to be the one watching her collapse, but now I can barely stand. Jinyue's face. Why is she looking at me like I'm a dying animal?
Chaos erupts as Lu Mingyuan's mind fractures under the potency of the immortal's intoxication. In his drug-induced frenzy, he loses all sense of propriety, lunging at his own sister in a horrifying display of madness.
The poison they brewed for me is now tearing them apart. Watching Lu Mingyuan grovel and claw at his own kin is the most honest thing I've seen in this house. This is the true face of the Lu family, ugly, desperate, and self-destructive.
While the Lu family scrambles to hide the evidence of their disaster, Jinyue and Ruangshu share a moment of quiet victory. The simple act of swapping the jars has turned a lethal threat into a total humiliation for her enemies.
They underestimated the girl they used to bully. Ruanxiu's quick thinking saved me, and their own greed did the rest. Now, the real show begins as the morning sun reveals the wreckage of their reputation.
我听见了他们谈话，偷偷调换了酒壶顺序，否则中招的便是姑娘了。
The next morning, the manor is a tomb of secrets. Jinyu walks into her husband's quarters to find him in the arms of two maids. A scandal that even the Earl's influence cannot easily bury.
Look at him, the great vice minister, reduced to a common lecher. He wanted to use this night to bind me to him forever, but instead, he's given me the perfect weapon to tear this marriage apart.
这怎么了？这二人犯了何事啊？
Fan Jingxi tries to use the situation to her advantage, hoping Jinyue will cast the maids out in a fit of jealousy. But Jinyue plays a different game, forcing the Lu family to accept the consequences of their son's appetite by elevating the maids to concubines.
Fan Jingxi thinks she can manipulate me. I'll give her exactly what she fears more rivals for Lu Mingyuan's attention. Let this house become a nest of bickering concubines. It's the least they deserve.
木已成舟，只能将这二位抬为妾室。
The banquet scandal has left the Lu family reeling, but their greed remains intact. Realizing they have no intention of returning her dowry even after their disgrace, Jinyue decides it's time to take the fight to the public eye.
They still think they can keep what belongs to my father. They've tried poison, they've tried shame, and they've failed. Now, I'll show them what happens when a general declares war on a den of thieves.
撕烂他们的脸。
Prince Xie Zhao remains a constant shadow.
伯父住着还是太危险了，应该离得越远越好，早日和离。
The prince's words take a sharper, more intimate turn. In the quiet of the street, he makes a confession that changes the stakes of Jinyue's survival. He isn't just her ally. He wants her to be his princess.
His words are a promise of a future I never dared to imagine. But I'm still a wife of the Lu family, still bound by the laws of this city. I have to break those chains before I can even think about reaching for his hand.
可我想娶的王妃只有你。
The moment of intimacy is shattered by the arrival of Luo Yihuan. Even after Jinyue saves the ungrateful girl from a runaway carriage, the premier's daughter responds with nothing but venom and arrogance.
I saved her life, and she treats it like an insult. If she wants to play the spoiled brat while I'm trying to survive a war, I'll give her a taste of the battlefield. Gratitude is a luxury she clearly can't afford.
让王爷再救你一个。你敢嘲笑我？
The prince's patience with his cousin has reached its limit, and he has her forcibly removed. But the look in Luo Yuhuan's eyes as she is dragged away promises a new kind of trouble for Jinyue.
One enemy is silenced, but another is born from spite. Luo Yuhuan's hatred is a fire that won't be easily put out. I've survived the Lu family's poison, but can I survive the wrath of a girl who has the entire premier's office behind her?
金月，我要诅咒你！满月之期就要到了，我搜空府库，拿出自己积攒多年的私银，还是远远不够。
The Lu family is drowning in debt, and their desperation has turned into a predatory hunger. With the deadline looming, they've already picked their next victim.
My mother is actually suggesting we steal from my sister's dowry. We're pathetic. But if we don't find the money soon, the court will strip us of everything.
只要休妻，风金月就没有办法拿回家。
Lu Qingyao, the venomous sister, proposes a plan so dark it makes even her brother hesitate for a split second. Their solution to the debt? Just get rid of the creditor.
Divorce her. Qingjiao thinks that by casting Jinyue out, we can just keep her dowry as a parting gift. It's a gamble, but it's the only way to keep our heads above water.
The trap is set for the old madam's birthday banquet. Lu Mingyuan tries to play the moderate, but his family's greed is a tide he has no intention of swimming against.
They're pushing me into a corner. Fine. If Jinyue won't listen to reason, she'll have to listen to the law of the Lu manor. Just don't let it get too bloody.
过几天是我家老夫人的大寿，风金月作为我的大嫂理应出席。到时候我们就这样。
Back at the manor, the air is cold. Jinyue doesn't ask for love anymore. She only asks for what's hers, and she's not taking no for an answer.
2 days left. Lu Mingyuan thinks his pathetic threats can stop me? He's forgotten I faced real Arno beers while he was playing house.
若是闲得慌，就赶紧补齐银子还给我，可没剩2日了。
While the Lu family plots her downfall, Jinyue is already packing her bags. She's not just leaving, she's reclaiming her life.
I know they're planning something for the banquet. Let them. Every move they make just gives me more evidence to burn this bridge for good.
等拿到了嫁妆，就立刻跟他们提和离，早些离开这个侯府。
At the banquet, the social vulture circle, Luo Yihuan tries to flaunt her status, but Jinyue carries the authority of a general, turning their petty insults into a joke.
They flaunt palace gifts like children playing with toys. They don't realize that I am the only one in this room the emperor actually respects.
确实很理智，跟前些日子圣上赏赐我的那一箱子一模一样。
The moment of the strike arrives. Lu Qingyao leads Jinyue into a secluded room, the sweet scent of knockout smoke filling the air. This is the end they planned for her.
I can see the smoke. By tomorrow, she'll be a disgraced woman, and her wealth will finally be back where it belongs in my hands.
不肯与我大哥同房，为了这卑鄙的下人同房去。
A warrior's mind doesn't cloud easily.
你这般费心，还是你自己留着好好享用吧。
The Lu family gathers the crowd, ready to catch Jinyue in her shame. They push open the door with triumphant smiles, only to find their own daughter at the center of the disaster.
No, this wasn't the plan. Why is Qingyao there? My sister? How did she end up in that bed?
你自己看看，你教养的好女儿。
Jinyue steps out, calm and untouchable.
青瑶，这到底是怎么回事啊？你大嫂呢？
The Li family has no mercy for a disgraced wife. In a heartbeat, Qingyao is cast out, her life shattered by the very trap she set.
My sister is ruined. Our reputation is gone. And Jinyue, she's standing there like a judge, watching us burn.
我儿说的是，这样的毒妇不配做我李家的少夫人。今日便休她出门。
The final blow. Jinyue reveals her true power not just as a wife, but as a high-ranking official of the court. The Lu family's domestic dispute just became a state crime.
You thought you could bully me? Plotting against a court official is a death sentence. Now, give me my dowry and my freedom, or face the executioner.
谋害朝廷命官，重者处以斩刑或者绞刑，轻者杖1板，流放2000里。
The Lu family is finally on their knees, but as Prince Ning watches from the wings, a new question arises. Will Jinyue's freedom come with a price she isn't ready to pay?
行，我答应你。
李夫人，可否借贵府的笔墨一用？
Jinyue isn't just watching the chaos. She's handing them the blade to cut themselves off. She steps forward, her voice like ice in the heated room.
You wanted me gone? Fine. But you'll sign the papers on my terms, right here, right now. No more delays, no more lies.
Even in defeat, the Lu family's greed knows no bounds. They realize that losing Jinyue means losing the fortune that kept their estate afloat.
If we lose that dowry, we're bankrupt. I have to fight for every copper, even if it makes me look like a common beggar in front of the entire court.
但是必须得归还之前的嫁妆。
As the ink dries on the divorce papers, the reality of his loss finally hits Lu Mingyuan. He looks at the woman he once thought he could control, now standing tall and untouchable.
I thought I was the one in control, the one bestowing favor. How did I end up losing the only woman who actually brought glory to this house? I've traded a phoenix for a handful of ash.
The shackles are off. 5 years of blood and service on the battlefield. And finally, I am my own master again. The Lu family is nothing but a stain on my past.
回来了，可为什么会变成现在这样？到底是哪里做错了？是我没有瞒着他另娶生子，一切会不会不一样？
The shockwaves hit the Lu family when they realized Jinyue's connections reached the highest levels of power. Prince Ning wasn't just a guest, he was her shield.
Prince Ning, Ansari knew him all along? If I had only stayed loyal, if I hadn't been so blinded by greed, I would be the most powerful man in the capital right now.
风金月和宁王相识，这凭什么？凭什么好事都让风金月占尽了，还害我被休妻出门？我恨，我好恨！
Leaving the wreckage of the banquet behind, Jinyue's mood is lighter than it's been in years. A celebration is in order, and she's not holding back.
I came for a feast and left with a divorce. That's a trade I'll take any day. Tonight, we drink to new beginnings and the death of old burdens.
走啊，请你们去酒楼吃席面。
Freedom means reclaiming what's yours.
能把你上次那些人手再借我用一下吗？这离开伯府搬东西啊，需要不少的人。
News of the divorce spreads like a plague.
我与风金月和离了，你去把他东西收拾出来，明日交还给他。
The Earl's servants try to block the gates.
既然他们不讲道理，我们也不必讲。动手！
In the chaos, Jinyue spots a familiar white jade bracelet on Lu Qingyao's wrist, a piece of her own history, stolen by a common thief.
That bracelet was a gift from my father before he died. Seeing it on her skin makes my blood boil. I'll take it back, even if I have to snap her wrist to do it.
他这手上的玉镯是我的嫁妆。
The final confrontation is cold and calculated. Jinyue strips away Lu Mingyuan's last shred of dignity by revealing the fraud behind his entire career.
You built your career on my blood and my father's name. You're not a talented official, you're a parasite. It's time you realized how fragile your stolen throne really is.
我只是提醒你，你靠我和我爹的军功得来的势力。
Jinyue leaves nothing behind. Every chair, every curtain, even the damaged wood is loaded onto the carts. She's erasing her presence from this house forever.
I don't care if it's broken. I'd rather burn it for firewood than let these people sit on it for another second. This house will be as empty as their promises.
那不行，拿回去劈了当柴火，也绝不能便宜了他们。
The city watches the Earl's house fall.
我们将军与东平伯府陆明远和离，今日搬嫁妆回将军府。
吴叔、田婶，我回来了。
5 years of dust and blood on the border, and finally, the general's manor feels like home again. The air here doesn't smell of gunpowder, but of old wood and the loyalty of those who waited for me.
The return of the war hero isn't just a military affair. It's a reclamation of a life stolen by a bad marriage. Uncle Wu and Aunt Tian, the old pillars of the house, are there to witness the dawn of a new era.
As I step across the threshold, the weight of the Lu family's betrayal begins to lift. This is my fortress, and from here, I will rebuild everything they tried to destroy.
你去明翠楼订2桌席面，晚间送到将军府来。
The quiet of the manor is a luxury, but Jinyue knows that in the capital, silence is often interpreted as weakness. She immediately begins to set the stage for her formal re-entry into high society.
I'm hosting a homecoming feast. It's not just a dinner, it's a declaration. I want the world to see that the woman who survived the northern wars is more than capable of conquering the capital's drawing rooms. And I want Xie Zhao to be there, not as a prince, but as the only one who truly saw me.
Peace is rare with the Lu family involved.
那是他的归家宴，休得无理取闹。
Xie Zhao's protection is absolute. He knows Luo Yuhuan's petty nature better than anyone, and he's not about to let her ruin Jinyue's first night of freedom. The banquet is filled with hidden daggers.
怎么？你害怕？所以你故意找了一只毛毛虫，想要吓我？
The room holds its breath as Jinyue stares down the insult, but it's Xie Zhao who turns the tide, transforming a petty slight into a beautiful metaphor for Jinyue's own transformation. While others bring trinkets, Xie Zhao brings the one thing Jinyue truly desires. He steps forward, presenting a document that carries the weight of the throne itself.
The royal seal. He didn't just get me the papers, he got me the emperor's blessing. This isn't just a gift, it's a shield that the Lu family can never penetrate.
他想的真是周到，如此一来，往后就不怕陆家借此生事，也能堵住他人闲言碎语。多谢王爷。
Looking at the ink, I realized that for the first time in years, I am legally and spiritually untethered from that house of lies. Thank you, Xie Zhao, for knowing me better than I know myself.
The prince gives a second, personal gift.
这是犀牛鞭，材质坚韧，适宜你平时佩戴使用。
The atmosphere shifts to intimate.
是很美。
The vulnerability of the moment leads to a confession that has been years in the making. Xie Zhao finally drops the mask of the distant prince.
He's asking if I'll be his princess. My heart is racing faster than it ever did in a cavalry charge. I've spent so long fighting for my life that I forgot how to fight for my own happiness.
我不娶她，我只娶你。
I want to say yes, but the scars of the past are still fresh. Is it possible to be a general and a beloved wife at the same time? Or is this just the wine talking?
Morning brings a different reality.
抱他！
At the office, the professional facade is hard to maintain when the prince is determined to tease his offender.
He's looking at me with that smug grin. What exactly did I do? If I offended him, why does he look like he just won the lottery?
我有号确实有点多，醒来确实什么事情都不记得。我若是冒犯到了王爷，还请见谅。
Xie Zhao corners her with a whisper.
你说过的话也想不起来了。
The playful banter turns into a solemn vow. Xie Zhao knows that Jinyue's hesitation stems from her sense of worth after the divorce, and he's ready to tear down those walls.
He's swearing to never take a concubine. In a world where men of his status collect women like trophies, he's offering me a singular, undivided heart. It's the most radical thing a prince could say to a general.
你是王爷，娶妻应当要娶贤良淑德的大家闺秀。我呢，粗鄙的武将。再说了，我现在还是合理之身。
I can't hide behind my rank or my past anymore. If he's willing to risk the emperor's wrath for me, the least I can do is give him a chance to prove it.
While Jinyue finds a new beginning, Lu Mingyuan is finally facing the consequences of his treachery. The prestige he stole is crumbling, and the woman he chose over Jinyue is becoming his greatest burden.
Impeached? Fined? My world is shrinking. I thought I was moving up, but without Jinyue's family name and her dowry, I'm just a target for every censor in the court.
我被御史台参奏弹劾，世上大怒，罚了我1年的俸禄。
And now Fan Jinshi is complaining about money. She was supposed to be my escape, but she's just another shackle. I've lost the phoenix, and I'm left with a vulture.
The Lu family's downfall has only just begun. As they tear each other apart over scraps, Jinyue stands taller than ever, her eyes fixed on a future that no longer includes them. But with the Emperor's court watching her every move, will her new romance survive the political storm brewing on the horizon?
你可知你说的什么话？
The confrontation escalates. The Empress demands a choice, but Xie Zhao has already made his. She thinks she can pressure me into a proper marriage. She doesn't realize that for me, there is no one else.
I hear of his resolve, and it humbles me. A prince willing to forsake everything for a general who has lost so much.
But our personal struggles are pushed aside when a shadow falls over the capital. Young women are vanishing without a trace, and the city is gripped by fear. While the palace debates marriage, a real threat emerges in the shadows of the capital. The peace of the city is shattered by the news of a high-profile kidnapping. The magistrate's office is paralyzed, leaving the investigation in our hands. We analyze the patterns. No ransom notes, no struggle, just beautiful women disappearing near the same temple.
It's a targeted hunt. They aren't looking for gold, they're looking for victims to sell or worse.
微策，若是索银倒还好，至少能看到希望。就怕线下这般毫无头绪，才叫人无望。
The clues lead to Juhua Temple, but the investigation hits a wall. The only way to find the nest is to become the prey.
I have to be the bait. It's the only way to draw them out. I'll go in disguised as a pilgrim.
She wants to walk into a tiger's den. My heart says no, but the general in her won't take orders from me.
这样太危险了。
Disguised as a woman seeking love, I step into the temple. Every step is a calculated move to attract the wrong kind of attention.
The air is thick with incense and secrets. I need to play the part of a sincere believer.
这是九华寺，今日我定能求个好姻。
The abbot's words are smooth, promising a destiny that feels more like a death sentence.
He hands me a charm, a marker for the wolves waiting in the woods. I smile, knowing the trap is set.
36级，恭喜施主，姻缘已到。
I thank him, all while memorizing the layout. The game has officially begun.
On the road back, the silence is broken by the sound of heavy boots. The bait has been taken.
Bandits. I have to play the part of the terrified noblewoman, suppressing the urge to strike them down.
铁娃，再冒险我一刀要你的狗命！
They bind our hands and lead us into the mountains. I keep my head down, marking the trail for Xie Zhao.
Every knot they tie is a debt I will collect later. For now, I need to see where they are taking us.
都给我绑起来带回去！
The bandit's lair is a cage of misery. Inside, I find a familiar face among the prisoners.
Even in a cage, Lu Qingyao can't keep her mouth shut. She's more worried about my arrogance than her own life.
金月，你有今天。
I give her a cold warning. If she wants to survive the night, she needs to be quiet.
I gather info from the other girls.
你们都是去九华寺求姻缘，得了住持给你们的姻缘带之后，被掳到这里来的。
I whisper words of hope to the terrified captives. The rescue is coming, but the timing must be perfect.
I tell them to be ready. Xie Zhao won't be far behind. We must stay silent until the signal.
等王爷带人来救我。
Outside the stockade, Xie Zhao and his men move like ghosts through the trees. The time for stealth is over. I see the guards. My sword is ready for those who dared to touch her. We strike now.
走。
Inside the cage, I break my bonds. The time for acting is over. The general is back in command.
I coordinate the girls, getting them to safety while I prepare the signal flare.
陈秀，去门口守着。
The flare goes up, lighting the night sky with the fire of our counterattack.
The flare is the final nail.
喂，是风打的相互打。
The raid succeeds, but the root of evil remains.
有人攻打在黑龙寨。
The Black Wolf stockade thought they were safe behind mountain walls, but they didn't count on a general's wrath. While the bandits were busy celebrating their latest haul, the shadow of justice was already at their door.
你去看着他们。
The trap is sprung. These rats have nowhere to run now. I've tracked them through the mud and the incense of that corrupt temple, and now it's time to collect their debt.
The bandits scramble in panic, realizing their secret nest had been compromised. But before they can even grab their weapons, the cold steel of the imperial army is already at their throats. Amidst the chaos, Luo Yuhuan finally sees the true power of the woman she once envied. The general isn't just a title, it's a force of nature.
I didn't risk my life to be a hero. I did it because no woman should be a pawn in a bandit's game. Let the world know who is leading this charge.
说出来怕吓死你！这可是圣上御封的第一女将军，砍了我们，其实就是你的死期。
The stockade falls, and the victims are freed. But as the smoke clears, the adrenaline of battle fades into the quiet ache of old wounds and new feelings. Xie Zhao searches for her in the aftermath.
你受伤了。
Watching from the shadows, Luo Yuhuan realizes that her petty jealousy was a drop in the ocean compared to the bond between these two. It's a bitter pill, but it's the truth she needed to see.
我感觉他们好般配。
The news of the rescue reaches the palace, turning the tide of court opinion. Luo Yuhuan, now matured by her ordeal, decides to use her influence for something more than herself.
I never asked for a reward, but if the emperor wants to grant me a husband, he should know that my heart has already made its choice.
远在天边，近在眼前。
The golden decree is read, shattering the last of the social barriers. A woman who was once cast aside as a divorcee is now ascending to the highest rank of the land.
This isn't just a marriage, it's a declaration. I am Feng Jingyue, and I will no longer live in anyone's shadow.
颜良端方，品貌出众，朕与皇后公文之甚悦，如与宁王情投意合，堪称良配。特将如许配宁王为王妃。
I thought I had ruined her. I thought she would crawl back to me, begging for a place in my house. But now, she stands where I can never reach. The regret is a poison that I have to swallow alone.
The Lu family's world collapses as they realize the woman they discarded is now their superior in every way. Their greed has left them with nothing but bitterness.
贱人！我被羞还被毁了容，怎么就做了宁王妃？
He says it was love at first sight, a spark in a garden years ago. I spent so long fighting for my life that I forgot how to live. Thank you for waiting for me to find my way back.
The moon witnesses their vow. The battle-hardened general and the silent protector finally find their peace in each other's arms.
一见钟情。
The wedding bells ring as the capital celebrates, but a blood-stained letter at the palace gates signals that the war for the throne has only just begun. Feng Jinyue's new crown is now a dangerous target.